have you gotten the credit that you deserve?
I don't think so. And the Rap City, The Basement was the original podcast.
If you made it to Big Tigger in the Basement, boom, that's your stamp. And then you wasn't an artist until you had that stamp.
I got called by the Falcons. I have a section at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
What?
Who has done a stadium
and an
arena
same day.
in the same
At the same damn time. BET Hip Hop Cypher.
mid. By the way, never been invited to a cypher.
What?
Ever. I grew up with a standard. Bars for bars. If you were an MC, damn the songs, your flow, your lyrics, your cadence is what you stood on.
Right.
There are way more people that just make good songs right now. Even in this, let's say the Drake Kendrick thing, it wasn't really about the bars.
Yeah.
This was who was talking the most shit about each other.
BET Uncut. Boy, that song came on. I said, oh my God.
Changed your life.
It did,
Changed.
most definitely.
I walked in the Black Student Union one day,
Right.
and she stopped the whole Black Student Union and was like, you look like Tigger when you smile. And then we went to Disney World. I'm clearly using a name that belongs to Disney. So I kind of got pulled into a small little matrixy room. Wow. Be clear, your name is a Disney property. We went out with Floyd, we're in the club, the waitress comes, he was like, let me get 50 bottles of champagne. You get a bottle, you get a bottle, you get a bottle. So we like, Floyd, you want some? You know, like, I don't drink.
We talking about parties.
Yes, we are.
We talking about West Coast.
Yes, we are.
You ever party with Diddy? Ho, 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 ho. I know what you're thinking. It's me again. And before we keep going into this show, I need your help. Press that red subscribe button and help your boy out. You dig what I'm saying? One finger, one pinky, one thumb, one love. Yo, what's good? What's poppin'? What it is, what it ain't, what it could be, what it should be, what it would be. Cam Newton the Son, Mr. Boogie Y'all, and I'm here with another episode of Funky Friday. And I promise, I really do promise to give good content for the masses, but most of all, ladies and gentlemen, I promise to keep it funky for your asses. Now listen, this particular show may look a little different because we're in a different space. You dig what I'm saying? We're here, Fellowship ATL, but the show must go on. We're here with a person who is an original personality of BET. When you think about BET and the people and the forefathers or the forewomen who has just pushed the culture forward, this individual is one of those people. Also a part of my list, he's a DJ, television and radio personality, a philanthropist, and the host of the Big Tigger Morning Show on V103. I present to some and introduce to others. Big Tigger in the Basement.
What up,
my guy. How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm blessed.
You good?
I'm excited.
Man, bro, I feel like, first off, who you are and what you are. I asked you a question a couple months ago while we were doing a show, and I asked you simply, do you or have you gotten the credit that you deserve?
I don't think so. But that ain't for me to say. I've had some people give me credit, love saying that Rap City, The Basement was the original podcast.
Hold on, I'm gonna pause you right there. Right now, and I was telling the producers that I had this idea, we need to have a Bible up here. That a promise to keep it funky, all funky, and nothing but the funk. Like, just honest truth. Like, this ain't the show where we just being modest. Speak your truth.
I'm being honest. I don't think that I've gotten it.
Okay.
But I wanted to, somebody saying to me, multiple people saying that Rap City, The Basement was the ultimate or the first podcast format, the original podcast.
Correct.
Was flattering. I took that like, I accept that and received that. But I think after that, nah, not really. Last year we had the Rap City documentary, which definitely did its thing in 3 parts. But I even told the executives, like episode 2 was really about my era of Rap City. And then episode 3 was like after I left, and they kind of made up this thing where Rap City and 106 and Park was beefing. And I mean, it was you know, like we held the network down a whole long time before.
Oh, for sure.
Before 106 became its thing. So then when it becomes like a Jay-Z comes to the network and he says he's only doing one show and they want to put him on 106 in Park, I had an issue with that. I was like, you know, he hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like Beyonce comes say that, all right, that's whatever.
Correct.
So it wasn't really a beef, but I had my, you know, I'm outspoken in things that I need to do and where I want to go.
Correct.
So I would go over there and be like to executives like Penny and Steve, like, I don't get it. How the rap dude not coming to the rap show? Right. So anyway, the third installment of the documentary was kind of this 106 Rap City beef, which is not really authentic. And then when they asked me about it, I said, it's funny, even in the Rap City documentary, y'all had to make it about 106 in Park. Like this had nothing to do
It's
with
no connect. I mean, only thing that I feel is the connectivity between 106 and Park and, you know, the basement. It's hard to say the basement. It's Big Tigger in the basement. You know what I'm saying? Was the fact that one shine solely on one thing and the other shine solely on the broader thing.
Right.
106 was the broader music, you know, more specifically cultural black music.
No doubt.
Right? Big Tigger in the basement highlighted hip hop and rap.
Period.
Solely. This wasn't where Destiny Child was coming down to the basement and just dropping
They
some.
did come down.
But I'm saying that was an exclusive, where it's like normally that wouldn't be what you would normally see or expect. I'm thinking, yo, this is where rappers come down, speak their truth, and also at the end we have a caveat where now we can show the artistry of who you are by dropping a freestyle. And some of it was like, yo, that really wasn't a freestyle, that was just a verse that they just said, but you didn't know that then. You was like, oh shit, that was what it was. But before we get ahead of ourselves, or before I get ahead of myself, take me back, right? A lot of work has been done in Atlanta in this part of your life, you know what I'm saying? But originally from New York. And I'm eager to understand the whole transition of what we see today. We see you more on radio, or we hear your voice. I've seen your affiliation with the Atlanta Hawks. I've seen, you know, obviously as a TV personality, but my concern or my question per se is, where did that come from? How did you first get your start?
Started DJing at age 15. In New York, in the Bronx, when I was growing up, you either rapped, you DJ'd, you beatboxed, you broke dance, you did graffiti, I kind of did all of it.
Yeah.
Was doing that all through my high school career. Like, we threw parties in the Bronx, New York, like for high school kids, as high schoolers.
No.
We had like shout out Fat Cat. It was an older guy, Fat Cat. He was kind of our sponsor, big brother. He would get the venues. We would bring all the speakers, all the DJ, all the records, you know, and we would come through these epic parties in the Bronx. And every Friday, I spent my entire high school career with a flyer by hand. Yo, you coming Friday? You coming Friday? You coming Friday? You coming Friday? So I've been throwing parties since I was 15. Then when I get to University of Maryland on a partial track scholarship, I was just doing that and trying to, you know, get acclimated to school. I partially tore my right hamstring, and I know you can understand that.
For sure.
You know,
that
Cybex machine was not fun.
Yeah.
So I had to get an internship, and one of my homeboys that ran track already worked at a radio station, WPGC, down there. And I'm thinking, I will get me in there. Not only can maybe I get some free records, I can start DJing here in Maryland.
Yeah.
But that's how I you know, fulfill my school requirement. So I'm in there, I'm in the research department. I walk into the studio, they're like, go get something from Albie D. Albie D was the nighttime host. He said, hold on for a second. I watched him do a radio break, and I was like,
Yeah.
bruh. I was like, listen, I'm supposed to get this, that, and the third from you, but I got questions.
Yeah.
And I was like, how much can you make? And da-da-da-da-da. So he took me out of the department I was in, which was research, made me his intern producer, because I'm the young New York kid. I'm like the, you know what I'm saying?
Young and hungry.
Right. And I just, you know, like they had to force me to leave that building. I was there all the time.
So make this make sense to me, because I'm asking for a friend, right? When you say DJ,
TJ.
There's a lot of quote unquote disc jockeys, but some of them you hear them speak, and some of them you hear their work, right? Like when I hear DJ Snake, right, I don't hear him talk. When I hear DJ Khaled, you know what I'm saying? You hear him talk. When I hear, Big Tigger as a person, I hear you talk. What differentiates?
So I think all of them
Okay.
were a DJ at some point. Take the DJ Snakes and DJ Mustards have progressed on to production, and even the DJ Khaled's. But Khaled could also still tear a club up as a DJ and on the microphone. I'm kind of both of them. I can DJ, like play records and use the microphone, and then there's an on-air personality or a DJ that just talks. So DJ is kind of an evolutionary term in that regard. Back in the day, just this.
Right.
But there are DJs who maybe started out DJing and moved on to production. Some of them or just talk more, and then there's the people who blend both of them together, like perfectly.
Yeah. So even, while you're in college, still did not know you went to University of Maryland.
College Park.
That's College Park.
That is College Park.
That's College Park.
That is College Park. That ain't College Park. That is College Park.
And during that time, DJ personalities in the DMV area, it's hard for me not to mention Petey Green.
Petey Green.
Right. Petey Green was one of the most blackest people. And I'm like, when I saw his documentary or his biopic, it gave people like me power. Like, I'm not crazy. You feel what I'm saying? Like when I wear my hair the way I wear my hair, the way I dress the way I dress, the way I speak the way I speak, it's purposeful. So obviously when I see your whole transition of who and what you are and what people can expect, one thing that I've always admired about you, you've always been you. You know what I'm saying? But going back to, Maryland, identifying your look, identifying your sound, what was that process like?
It's kind of, thank you for saying that. I kind of just been me. Like the stuff that I grew up with, how we got down in the Bronx, all just came with me. Like I packed the bag, I moved it, brought it with me to Maryland. The one thing I will say is that I learned this from Al BD and Jay Stevens.
Right.
Is this is the one thing that I learned from them, is they were like, lose the regionalism in your voice and you can work anywhere. So I'm able to cut on and cut off my New York accent.
Yeah.
I'm able to cut on and cut off my patois from my Jamaican heritage. And what it allows me to do is, I've worked in New York, I've worked in DC, I've worked in Miami, I've worked in Detroit, I'm now working in Atlanta. You can't come to Atlanta with a whole New York thing, because they're gonna be like, he the New York dude.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not that I'm not owning it, but at the same time, when I lost my regionalism, I was able to lose my regionalism in my sound, in my evolution. It just allowed me a lot more flexibility to blend in better. And blending in is not like bowing down or minimalizing yourself.
No, for sure.
I mean
that
in the form of, you want the people that listen and support you to relate to you. And part of that relation is the sound. If they listen to you and they automatically hear he not from here or he don't, you know what I'm saying? There's an automatic disconnect.
Correct.
But if I sound anything like, I ain't gonna sound but so Atlanta. I ain't gonna sound but so Miami, so Detroit. But at the same time, as long as I don't sound like a complete foreigner, it's easier for them to connect the dots.
When did you have your aha moment? Like, this what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing?
My aha moment was probably, my first radio show was at 92Q in Baltimore. And it was on it was Saturday and Sunday, 7 to midnight. And then Jesse Collins, who does all the Super Bowl. Jesse Collins used to do overnights at WPGC. Jesse Collins left to go to LA to become Jesse Collins.
The Jesse Collins we know.
That who we all know and love now. At that moment, my boss in DC was like, do you want to do overnights in DC? He knew damn well that I got off at midnight in Baltimore, but the shift on Sunday started at midnight in DC. So he knew he was trying to make me choose, but I was like, yeah, I'll take it. I want to do the shift. So I used to pay Doug Lazy, who used to be an artist and a radio personality, I used to give him like lunch every week to stay the 30 minutes it took for me to get off in Baltimore, fly down to Baltimore, Washington Parkway to DC.
With the traffic.
There ain't no traffic at midnight, but fly down the Parkway and then so I work 7 to midnight, well, like 11:45 out the door. I pull up at PGC at 12:15, and then I would do my show from 12:15 to 6 a.m. right before Donnie Simpson came on, and then I went to class at 9. Yeah, I had like a 1.8 that semester.
Yeah, my God.
Yeah, it was terrible. But that was my aha moment.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how I would get it done even when I said I'll do it, but I knew I wanted it. And I knew it was something I wanted to do, so I was like, I'll figure it out. Like, that was the moment, like, I'm gonna figure it out. Yeah, they're not gonna take the opportunity from me. Give me the opportunity, I'll work through it.
Yeah, interesting fact that I did not know, you are Jamaican. You know what I'm saying? And the evolution of Big Tigger. Where the fuck did Tigger come from?
University of Maryland, College Park. It was a young lady by the name of Sherry who we affectionately referred to as Grandma. She was an upperclassman. I was a freshman. I walked in the Black Student Union one day, and she stopped the whole Black Student Union and was like, "You look like Tigger when you smile." That was it. I was just Tigger.
Like the Winnie the Pooh Tigger.
That dude right there. So everybody started calling me Tigger on the yard. And then further along in the evolution, I was doing a radio show. I had just started doing Rap City, the hip hop news segment. And I was writing for Blaze magazine, which went away. And somebody, I can't remember who it was, somebody was like, "Tig, you doing it big, da-da-da. Your name should be Big Tigger." Stuck from there. And then one of my scarier moments is we went to Disney World like in '95 for like Vibe Live.
Yeah.
I'm clearly using a name that belongs to Disney. So I kind of got pulled into a small little matrixy room. And they were like, "Yeah, so as long as you don't really mess up, ain't nobody really gonna say too much. But be clear, your name is a Disney property."
Wow. Well, that's the business side of it. Hey,
Listen,
hey, grab him real quick. Hey, come here.
Let me talk to you for a second.
Sit his ass down.
So, I mean, that's also been some added motivation not to be in too much trouble along the years, because I don't want that smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That lawsuit, that's a different type of lawsuit. And you talking about Disney?
the mouse?
You know? Shit.
Not the mouse.
It's like, as you're transitioning to, what we know you to be, Big Tigger now, all right? The BET, you know what I'm saying? And for me, I want to know, when you're talking about prime spots in radio versus prime spots on TV, what does those look like? You know what I'm saying? Because you was like, from midnight to blah, 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 is that a prime spot? I wouldn't necessarily know. And what's a prime slot on television?
They kind of mirror each other, except for, so morning drive, like say the Good Morning Americas of the world, those are big shows, just like morning radio shows. And then let's take Rap City and 106 in Park between 4 and 7, 4 and 8. It's kind of that afternoon drive, just like in radio, afternoon drive. Television is a little different because you have all these midday shows, because for the people who don't go to work, it's a little bit stronger than radio midday. But they kind of mirror each other in that regard. If you want a big viewership in the morning, because people are up getting ready for their day, they want information, they want fun, they want content. On the evening, on the way home, they want the same information, content, and fun, and those are like the two biggest time segments of each, for radio and television.
So when we fall asleep, and back in the day when you used to fall asleep, and you used to just wake up, and you hear, "God has a plan for you," and you got all these preachers trying to say, "You call this number 1-800-GOD-SAVES, 1-800-GOD-SAVES to give your your weekly tithes and offering."
Get your tithes.
That ain't ideal timing, like 2 a.m. in the morning.
2 a.m. is not, again, life evolves. There are people way more active now, 2 a.m. in the morning. But traditionally, 6 to 10 a.m., well, really 6 to 9 a.m., no matter what coast you want, 6 to 9, West Coast, East Coast, and 4 to 7 in the afternoon. Most people in their cars or you're traveling, they have time, you know what I'm saying, they're not working. Those are the ideal moments where the biggest audience is around. Now, social media, totally different rules.
Change that whole,
Social media and the internet, where people are able to consume whatever they want to, whenever they want to, however they want to, changes those rules.
Yeah.
But in linear, on television, or in terrestrial radio, where you can't rewind, you can't press pause.
Right.
Those things, those are still strong points.
Well, let me tell you something. Since we're talking about late night, feel me? One of the things that I obviously knew and found out that BET Uncut, Lord Jesus, let me tell you something. I didn't even know what it was. I grew up in a household that was religious. One of my partners, I had a sleepover. One of my partners was like, yo, bro, we gotta stay up late. I said, bro, stay up late for what? Bro, we gotta watch BET Uncut. Well, I ain't know what the hell BET Uncut was. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't dropped down, it was the Nelly. Tip drill. It must be ass, because it ain't your face. I need a tip. Boy, that song came on, and I was watching it. I said, oh my God. What is this?
Changed your life.
It did, most definitely. Oh my goodness. And now, son, is when you find out that you was a man. Boy, what was this, like, if you had to describe that.
The energy?
Like on BET Uncut, what was the purpose of, hey, we're about to do this that's different than that, and why we're gonna put it XYZ?
So the show started, I had nothing to do with the show started. The show started, and I was just immediately like, that's what we do? That's what's up. But at the time, I was the hip-hop guy. Most of the videos were hip-hop. And I was probably the most recognizable face on the network at that point. And
flex.
A little bit. And then I think there was an opportunity, we were at Spring Bling, which used to be a time.
Though, for sure.
A time. And
I wouldn't know, I was too young for Spring Bling, but there were...
A time.
Yeah.
And I think there was an opportunity to shoot on location Uncut. So it was like, Tig, you want to host it? I was like, absolutely. Wow. So I would only do like special moments. We did some from tipping establishments. We did some we made up clubs. It just invited people. We had them, Akinelli was there for a couple. Uncle Luke was there for a couple. Like it was just a lot of fun, and the energy fit the format, which was these videos that featured, sometimes not so good music, but visually stunning videos.
Assignment was assignment. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard for me not to kind of think about that being a realm. And for people who don't necessarily know, because we have to obviously be informative on this, is Spring Bling, correct me if I'm wrong, was around spring break.
Absolutely.
And I know a lot of networks made that a thing. Cancun, MTV, BET, Spring Bling, things like that. And it just showed a wild side of the early 2000s where people were, or kids, young adults were just living free. You know what I mean?
The beauty of that is, okay, MTV had way bigger budgets than that. We went to Florida, they went to Cancun.
Yeah.
But it was fitting for us because we would go around Black College Reunion, BCR, and Daytona. And that was already a movie before Spring Bling got there. We just turned it on 25. Because now we brought all these artists. That was the first time I ever saw T-Pain or ever heard of T-Pain or Gucci. I remember the first time we got to BCR and Icy was out by Gucci Mane. And I was like, what is this? Yeah. But everybody was singing, it was crazy. We would go down there, and this was the beautiful time, Cam. It was very few camera phones. There was no social media.
Nothing.
So
you just had to be there.
If you missed it, you missed it. If somebody said they saw it, either someone believed you or they didn't.
Prove it. Basically.
But it was a lot of fun. One of my fondest memories from while shooting Uncut at BCR, we stepped out into the hallway. It was me and Lil Duval was hosting this one. And we're talking to Penny Mac, the producer, when she's like, all right, this next segment, we're gonna do X, Y, Z. But there's like dancers in this room, like it's going down in this room. And then we come out into the hallway at a hotel, and she's like, we're gonna do this, that, and the other. And then like way down the hallway is a dude who's like limping down the hallway and looking back. And we're like, bro, what's happening? I just got shot in the stairwell. And I was like, he was like, yeah. And I was like, so we like, sit your ass down. I'm like, why are you still walking? So then he's about to sit down, like we like holding him. I'm like holding his hand like to ease him down. He looks up and goes, oh shit, bro, you Tigger. Yeah. Jumps back up. We like, sit your ass down. So he sits down and he's still bugging out. I don't know what happened in the staircase, but I will never forget this kid who like forgot he got shot. Just for the fact that he like saw me and like Lil Duval still wasn't quite Lil Duval. Yeah. Because he probably would have fanned out over Duval more, but it was just a moment, and I always remember that from BCR because it was just mad people everywhere, and there was a little bit of, rah-rah to it, but it was a lot of love out there.
But damn, I'm over here. What the hell was the shooter? Fuck.
I don't know, like, cause we kept looking down the hallway after we sat him down. Like, anybody coming?
So, I mean, it's been a lot of talk about, it was good to kind of see this project that Hulu presented, The Freaknik, right? And when I hear stories about Spring Bling, BCR, all these many different festivals and times, like, even for me being a millennial, at my age, that was before me. You know what I'm saying? You just would have had to be there. You dig what I'm saying? So when you think back, right, is there anything remotely close, or will there ever be another time when you put a body of work, and I'm not necessarily talking about mainstream, but more so culturally, that people can say, you have to be a part of this in a way that pushes the experience where, like, is there a thing now, basically what I'm saying is, where you have to be there from the culture standpoint?
I think there are things some of the festivals, yes. I feel like you should be there. The problem is even at the festivals, everybody who paid all their money to get in here is doing this. So people can watch it, view it on social media and feel a part of it, but the feeling's not the same. So I feel like people should get out, go to these things, be in the moment, enjoy these festivals, or I can't say, for example, like this thing is a thing that you need to be at or you need to experience this. But I think being out and in the moment is very important for everyone. Because if you're on your phone, you're not really you're not immersed in your situation. And there are lots of things that you may miss, feelings, realities, crazy stuff that you're gonna miss out on because you're not in the moment. And lots of people are not in the moment because they're just on their phone.
It's a lot of unsocial people on social media.
Oh, absolutely.
Where you have different personalities. And I said this all the time, me coming into stardom, right, as an athlete, one of the things that I hated the most was to know of people or to know people and be like, oh shit, that's Tigger. What's up, bro? Like, what's up, my nigga? Then you be like, that nigga, man. Or this person, his entourage different, and that's what kind of pushed me to being by myself, because I didn't want a bunch of yes men around me, nor did I want people who were disingenuous around me, because it affects you and the energies that kind of come with it. And I'm like, yo, social media has done and pushed the world forward for sure.
And backwards.
I mean, goddamn, yes.
And backwards.
And it's like now, even going into a club, like we're in fellowship now, I see people all the time off the phone, and it's just like, boom. And as soon as they get, you know what I mean, they looking around and they doing this and they doing that, it's a whole different person. You feel me? This show is brought to you by Betterhelp. When life goes so fast, it's imperative that you take a moment to celebrate your wins and make adjustments for the rest of the year. Therapy can help you take stock of your progress and to set achievable goals for the next 6 months. It's helpful for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. It isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited for your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional cost. Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/funky today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/funky. Whether you're a world-class athlete or a podcaster like me, we all know the importance of physical and mental well-being and proper recovery for top-notch performers. That's why I'm excited to announce that UNIFYD Healing is sponsoring this episode of Funky Friday. UNIFYD Healing is a new and super innovative global network of wellness centers powered by Energy Enhancement Systems, or EE Systems. If you haven't heard of the EE Systems, you will want to listen up. This technology promotes wellness, deep relaxation, purification, and rejuvenation. Whether you're here in Atlanta or hundreds of other locations across the globe, access to a center is easy and affordable. Interested in experiencing the EE Systems technology for yourself? Go to unifydhealing.com/funky to learn more and to find a center near you. No material or testimonials on the UNIFYD Healing website are intended to be viewed as medical advice or a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare providers with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or treatment, and before undertaking a new healthcare regimen, including EE System.
We don't party like we used to.
Elaborate.
We used to go to the club. There was a dance floor. People actually danced. I remember the first time I walked in the club and somebody told me I had to pay to sit down. I was like, what? There were clubs that there were no sections. You know what I'm saying? Or if there were sections, they were like for one, you know what I'm saying, 1 or 2 sections. Everybody was just general population for the most part. So they took away the dance floor, and a lot of clubs are just sections, right? Who's in the sections? 8 times out of 10, a dude bought the section. Hopefully he's got the right, you know what I'm saying?
Decoration.
Accoutrements at his section. But everybody is kind of like the look at me, look at me.
Look what I got.
I'm in the section, I got bottles. Ain't no really dancing, you at the table. If you're lucky, your accoutrements are, providing some energy to the situation, but we just, like, people are sitting around, smoking hookah, on the phone.
Yeah.
Look at how cool I am at this club that I'm not really enjoying because I'm talking to y'all on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, so even party energy ain't really like party energy when you talk about the 90s music, early 2000s music. That used to be fun.
Yeah.
Like, the music was fun. People you couldn't wait to get to the club. Like, we about to go, we outside.
Yeah.
Like, now when we outside means I'm gonna sit at this table.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look cool as hell.
I had one of the moments, but it was at a teen club.
What?
Yeah. So for the folks who know, I'm gonna take y'all back. You know what I mean? We had a couple teen clubs in Atlanta, but one teen club where in College Park was College Park. It was Skate Town. Skate Town had a teen club, right?
Okay.
And then back then, you didn't have an operating phone, but you had a phone. And it was just solely, what's your number? Boom, when I get back home, I'm gonna call you type shit. Or they had the little shit called Chicktionary, your little tablet where, baby, hey, look, boom, go and put you there, you know what I mean, right there, boom. She done gave her number to 7 different dudes, you feel me?
Right.
But that was a time where people went and was musty when they left.
Absolutely.
You're not like sweating.
Might have his shirt off.
What? And that's where you found out who your partners was. Cause it's like, yo, I want her. Where she at, bro? Her right there. And you knew if she liked you, cause all you had to do was grab her wrist. Not grab it in a domestic situation. It was just like you grab it, boom. And she don't snatch away, she then look. But stay with me now. The pros, the chicks, she will always have a friend, right? The friend will be looking this way. And then the friend will be like, how you look, girl? And then she'll get a nod like, and then boom, so she'll turn around, she was like, yeah, what's going on? And then boom, that song come on. It must be your ad, cause it ain't your face, I need a tip. And then going back to now, you figuring out where your partner at. Okay, if your partner really your partner, so your partner, boom, he now turns from homeboy to post.
Wait,
like,
man.
No, it's a post, because now you leaning back on him. Like, now he done turned into a whole shield. Like, bro, I got you, bro. Lean back, bro. I got you. So, boom, now you sweating, and then you like, oh, man, boom, having the whole time, and you're like, oh, man, she's showing out. You feel me? And it's like, oh, okay, cool, boom. Now when they change the whole song, that's when you're like, baby, what your name is? Hey, put your number in there, blah, 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 blah. 10 minutes later, she doing the same thing with somebody else, and you doing the same thing with somebody else. You know what I mean?
Anybody even feel no way about it.
And that's what it was. You feel what I'm saying? Nowadays, if you were to go out, it's almost like sections are backyards, and you can't just walk into anybody's backyard. So you looking at
Yeah. Absolutely.
You don't know if that's her man or she got a man. You don't know none of that shit. So you gotta walk cautiously. And now it's so dangerous that.
Yeah, I'm not walking in nobody's section.
Yeah, but even when you do walk in gym pop or the dance floor or even to the restroom, people are so like, oh, it ain't no love music. You feel me? Like when people get by, hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was like that music, that's rowdy, like, like golly.
I mean, like, there ain't no real R&B songs, and when they come on, the women dance with the other women. I'm just, it's not the same, bro. We used to have a time. I spent the majority of my life from age 15 to all the way to here hosting. I've been hosting the parties 2/3 of my life.
So I had the honor of one of, I would say, the nation's leading promoters.
Okay.
Right? Kenny Burns.
Okay.
So I would ask him, or I asked him the question, I want to ask you the same question.
Okay.
As far as, what party was you a part of and you was like, yo, a time was had? Or you don't even gotta give me the specific party, just give me the era when you was like, yo, this person or this particular era was on lock because everybody was blase, blase, blah.
You gotta be careful these days, Ken.
For sure. Oh, you're going viral, regardless. And it's my job, you know what I'm saying? But respect.
Be more careful, Ken.
But it's your perspective though, and I think
I've been at a lot of.
Oh, for sure. You've been in the game for so long, specifically in the music game for so long, not necessarily making music, but being a part of the music and being the chaplain of the stamp. Like, boom. If you made it to Big Tigger in the Basement, boom, that's your stamp to say, boom, he's the up and coming, or he is obviously blah, blah, blah. People will go there, and then you wasn't an artist until you had that stamp.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
Parties.
Take your time. We got nothing but time.
I would say, let me paint the window first. The window was anywhere from 2000 to 2008. Might be the greatest, what a time to be alive.
Where?
Anywhere certain people at. One of my, Jamie Foxx, shout out to Jamie Foxx, throws some of the best house parties ever seen. I can't remember a time I had a more fun time. Like just the energy was right, the people were right, the weather was beautiful because it's out in the West Coast. Jamie Foxx has had some epic happenstances. And
just tell me when you want me to just ask this, love.
Go ahead, come on with it.
We talking about parties.
Yes, we are.
We talking about West Coast.
Yes, we are.
You ever party with Diddy?
Not on the West Coast. I have been to 2 or 3 New Year's Eve functions at his house. Probably 2 or 3 of the best New Year's Eves I ever had.
What was it though?
It's in his backyard at the crib in Miami. It's people, it's music, it's everything that you heard a Diddy party was. Good music, good energy, drinks, food. Let me back that up.
Say less. Hold on. Pause.
Everything you used to hear
Say less.
what a Diddy party was. Good music, good energy, fun, carefree. I can't say that I've ever stayed past my bedtime. I've never seen any of the things or the allegations that have been said against him. I've never been to the freak off. I've never been an overnight guest. I've never stayed later. I've never been in the bed.
You never overstepped your welcome.
Listen, I came, I tore up the background. And I tore up the backyard. We had a good time at the New Year's Eve party. I went home and that was it.
So from 2000 to 2008, right? And I'm trying to go back because I was in high school. And, you know, being in Atlanta, that was the Big Meech era. You feel me? So you wasn't really partying like that for me. So I have to live vicariously, you know what I'm saying, through you. I've been a part of, or not necessarily a part, when like Super Bowl parties. And when you say it's hosted by, I remember seeing Jamie Foxx. He had hosted this party, bro, and his range as an entertainer showed.
Right.
He went from singing, he went from DJing, he also went from MCing to having this energy around where, like, he was the life of the party. The pulse was predicated off of his energy, and he was going from the people who were in the sections to the regular person that was just looking at him just on the stage. So, you know, with that, when you're talking about parties, when you're talking about, you know, high energy, when you're talking about, yo, dog, like, I don't think it'd never be that realm again.
No, I mean, I hosted Blue Da Vinci's birthday party in Miami
animals?
with the Angels. It was in Miami, so I didn't have the animals. My party wasn't the animals. He had Blues Angels. And all of these beautiful women had angel wings on in the club in Miami. And it was, I mean, it was just,
that's crazy.
It was crazy to be at. And I think the first time I hung out with Floyd Mayweather in Vegas, we went out with Floyd, it was 50 people.
Yeah.
Went to a club. After the club, we went to, I think it was Spearmint Rhino, rather. And 50 people, we're in the club, the waitress comes, she was like, let me get 50 bottles of champagne. I looked at my manager, he's like, what?
Yeah.
You get a bottle, 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 you get a bottle. So we like, Floyd, you want some? You know, like, I don't drink. You bought 50 bottles of champagne for the entire group, you don't drink. Like we hadn't partied at that level yet. We hadn't got there, but just to see that happen, like to be in that moment where you went into a club, first of all, with 50 people, you brought out basically, let me get that whole back wall, and you ordered 50 bottles of champagne for everybody just to be hospitable and to show off.
Yeah, for sure, because you can.
Right.
But that's where I found myself venturing off into like, that's not me. All right, because
that ain't for everybody.
It's not. But I would have $6,000 bills. I would have $8,000 bills, $12,000 bills, and I still don't drink. I drink wine. Okay. That's the only alcohol consumption I've ever consumed in my life.
Okay.
Not tequila, not vodka, not champagne. And I just started drinking wine, 5 years ago. But I had to start checking myself because I'm like, yo, first off, when you make the announcement, and this is a message for all young, up-and-coming, or relevant people in the entertainment space. That could be an athlete, movie star, whatever. If you're recognizable, you have to protect yourself because you will be around a lot of quote unquote gimmies. Mm-hmm. People that I refer to as a gimme. Hey, bro, give me that, gimme. And I'm saying to myself, it's like, bro, who the fuck I'm gonna give this bill to? Oh, give it to Cam, like we in here with Cam. And I'm saying to myself, like, yo, I'm giving my credit card or I'm paying something where it's like, I just wanted to have a good time. And my entourage, my family specifically, like we can go to fucking Waffle House and have a good time. And that costs $120 for all these waffles on me, goddamn. But a phase of my life was just, first off, you have to experience it and realize like, oh shit, like, damn, 7,000? Fuck, who the fuck ordered motherfucking caviar?
Ain't never had
you know what I'm saying?
Caviar.
Like, what are we doing? And then you look at it like the itemized receipt, longest damn I-95, and you saying to yourself like, yo, like, this person, who is that person? Well, who the hell was the girl with the damn green out? Like, who is the dude? Like, no dude. Who? And then you start saying to yourself like, yo, just some shit just gotta change. I'm not going out no more. Because if I have to go out and spend $8,000 for the quote unquote look, I just remove myself.
I went, one time I took a bunch of my friends, I could be my friend. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I'm doing a little bit better than most of my friends. Yeah. They had never been to Vegas. And I think I had to host a party. It was around my birthday. Mm-hmm. Look, y'all get there, I got you.
Yeah.
So it's like 7 of us, right? So I'm like, we going out, I was like, do what you do, scoop what you scoop, dinner's at Blase Blah. I think 20 people showed up to dinner, right?
How many was invited?
Again, I told them, go grab it, whatever. So 7 of my homeboys.
7 brought 20.
7 brought a number 13, which was aspirational. We get to dinner, and I'm just listening. Mm-hmm. And I'm hearing people order stuff like roasted duck. You ain't never had no goddamn roasted duck. Roasted, come on, really?
Act civilized.
Roasted duck.
I would usually order this, but I'm just gonna do the serpent.
And this is why I'm young Tigger at this point. Like, this is like my 20s, like late 20s. So I'm listening, and I'm listening what they order and the drink, da-da-da. Lord, everybody had a great time. I was like, y'all, I'm going to the bathroom. So I went like to the bathroom, and I went to the waiter, and I was like, yo, go back over there, take the bill. I said, I'm gonna pay for it, but take the bill over there and say he paid for his.
That's a motherfucker.
He paid for his, and y'all gotta pay for the rest of it. So I stood over there like in the corner like this.
Seeing who?
I was giggling my ass off. Cause you know that everybody thought, well you ordered, and you ordered.
You invited me.
Wait, you in the, so like it was a fun experiment, and I ended up paying for it. But
yeah,
I think I taught the lesson to my group anyway. And I love my homeboys, but like it was just one of those moments where you like, y'all a little, y'all
comfortable. Come on now, you got a safety valve out. You know what I'm saying? And I would put you in check, like, because you know, normally in certain occasions, even my experiences from my loved ones, from people who've known me for a long time, it can kind of get took it for granted. But you know, needless to say, you know, we're in a position where we do have a lot. Some more than most. Right. And, you know, you don't want to just sit up there and say, oh, I'm having, you know what I'm saying, filet mignon, and you just gonna have this flank steak. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. Everything ain't equal. But, you know, it's just all about experiences, but within reason, you feel me?
The word is balance. If most, I know I struggle with it. If anybody struggles with most things in life, is balance. How to balance fun with work. How to balance family and friends. How to balance. Balance is hard. Yeah. You know, how to balance, you know, playing football and being Cam Newton.
For sure.
Like, balance is a tough thing to navigate for most people, and I give a lot of credit to people who find balance.
So, right before we get into the game, I want to kind of talk about something that I wouldn't say you originated, but you definitely did your job in magnifying this art.
Okay.
Freestyling. right? Knowing the wave of music right now, an artist's ability or inability to freestyle, does that make you look at that person any different?
Absolutely. Really? I hate sounding like our parents can. I hate it. That ain't real music. Those ain't real MCs. That ain't real hip hop.
For real? But why though? Like,
I hate sounding like our parents because they're our parents. But anyway, I grew up with a standard, bars for bars. If you were if you were an MC, damn the songs, your flow, your lyrics, your cadence is what you stood on.
Right.
How people gave you credit.
For sure.
There was someone who was better at bringing the lyrics and songs. Those people were superstars.
Correct.
There were other people who were just lyrical giants that we were like, yo, lyrical, lyrical, lyrical.
Yeah.
And then there were other people who just made good songs. There are way more people that just make good songs right now. And yeah, than actually give me something lyrical that I'm like, ooh.
Hold up, rewind that.
There are a lot more people right now that make good songs than actually provide me with that lyrical sustenance. So I'm like, ooh, hold on, let me rewind that.
Yeah.
Let me rewind. Wait, you heard what he said?
For sure.
There are some. There are. They're not.
It's few.
There are some.
It's few.
And there are a bunch of them who aren't popular. But you gotta go look for them. Popular music, not a lot at all. It's the beat, it's the hook, is there a dance to it? Is it on TikTok? That's it.
Yeah.
It used to be a standard for MCs. And the standard of the MC was I'm the best MC. My wordplay is crazy. I can say things, I can paint a picture. I'm a great storyteller.
An illusionist.
I can tell you a story or paint this picture to you with words to make you go,
Yeah.
I said, blah, 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 blah. And everybody in the car said,
Yeah.
Who does that? Now.
You're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
That's it. I should tell you two, Kendrick, J. Cole. And even within reason, Drake does too.
I can give you a couple more, but again, they're not popular.
But to that point, I'm saying, because I've always been a fan of wordsmiths, right? Like, I found myself, even in college, looking at battle raps. I'm like, man, who the fuck is this dude, right? Damn, that shit was, you know what I'm saying, extremely impressive, but he can't make a song. And even the people who do try to make songs, a lot of their, it sounds crazy, but a lot of their music must get watered down for people to understand what they're trying to say.
Jay-Z said, I dumbed down and doubled my dollars. And that's been the wave.
So when I ask this question of, do you feel a certain type of way, or do you gauge an artist by his ability or inability to freestyle, right? And now when you think about, and this goes without speaking on nobody's names, but for you to just say, okay, X artist, okay, bro, can he rap? Does he have some songs? Okay, cool. He passed the radio test. Okay, he may pass the album test, but when it comes down to, all right, bro, I'm gonna put a rap on or I'm gonna put a beat on, can you go? And then you're like, that's a C. And the only reason why you got a C is because
C is being generous.
Your name. You know what I'm saying?
That is no longer the credentials for most. Even back then, freestyling wasn't for everybody. So in the basement era, and I would tell people this, especially like first season, I kind of came at everybody just because it was new. I want everybody to know, like, put some respect on it. And then I would tell people, don't do something in here that's not gonna be positively reflected for you. Like, and freestyle had a multiple definition back then. Freestyle was you make it up off the top of the head, which then freestyle became off the top of the head. Freestyle also meant it was a loose verse. You might have already written this verse, it might not be assigned to a song yet.
Correct.
We might not have heard the song yet, but it's still a freestyle because it wasn't attached to a song.
Correct.
So I was like, yo, bro, like, don't do it for me.
Yeah.
But go in here and do something that's gonna make you give a positive reflection to the people who are about to go to the store, back when we went to the store to buy an album. Now, some people were way better at it. Ludacris, me and Luda had 3 of the most epic booths ever. Only person to get best of the booth 3 times, twice, or 3 times. Only person. And what Luda did from the first one to the second one is Luda would come in, he'd write a verse just for the show. And then he'd bring things and elements, because he'd been there in the book, that made it seem like he was going off the top. Snoop, off the top the whole time. Snoop could just go. Snoop could go. But most artists, a lot of artists, came in there with a verse that had already been written, hadn't been assigned to a song, and then if you're good at it, you can start something written, freestyle a little bit,
and then come back to
something written, so that we're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But that is no longer the standard by which artists are measured. Even in this, let's say the Drake Kendrick thing, it wasn't really about the bars.
Yeah.
This was who was talking the most shit about each other. This was like a reality show. Who had the most receipts? And it was wildly entertaining.
Oh, for sure.
But it wasn't about, like, if you go back to some of the, I think Hit 'Em Up was, well, nah, no Vaseline. There was a bunch of stuff that started talking like, who could talk the most shit about? But even let's take Ice Cube's No Vaseline. He talked shit about MWA the whole record, but it was written. And it used to be who had better bars, who could bring this energy lyrically.
For sure.
It's like, this is what it's about. I'm better than you. Not, I got more dirt on you.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of happened with the Kendrick Drake thing. But, like, it started off real mid, and then it just...
and I will preface this statement by my ignorance to the history of music. Let me just say that. But it felt like, even when Family Matters dropped with Drake and then Euphoria with Kendrick, that was like 3 songs in one. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, I haven't really paid a lot of attention to it, and the Kanye thing, right? Kanye's brilliance was like, yo, I'm gonna start it off with this melody, this beat. Mid-song, just go to a whole different flow or melody, and then boom, go to a transition to another song and potentially may bring it back or not. And then you realize like, yo, for a minute and 30 seconds, it was one beat, a whole nother minute or 30 seconds was another beat, and then another 2 minutes, that's how you got 6 minutes of an actual song. I was thinking while I was listening to those tracks, I'm saying to myself like, yo, it was 3 different beats, 3 different tempos, and they showed their rap stamina and artistry within those body of works, amongst other songs too. Not to say that they're the only ones to have done it or did it, but I just was thinking around that time, while I was listening, I was like, yo, like, this is a whole nother song.
The creativity of it was always amazing. So the Drake record, which had the 2 AI voices on it, was like, okay,
I didn't even
like
hear that. Me personally, I was like, come on, Drake.
I like the ingenuity of it only because what we in now is this technology era. And I thought it was a cool, creative thing to do, to speak at it from this person's voice, to speak at it from this person's voice. That was the only thing I thought was creative. Like, I thought that was creative.
Okay, I'll put it like this. The only reason why I didn't appreciate that track was because you're already fighting allegations of AI and ghostwriting. So why would you put, whether you wrote the verse or whatever, and put it in a way that you're not speaking it in your voice or your dialect? Nah, it's just like, they not saying this, and Snoop or like, this is...
I enjoyed it from a creativity.
For sure, which me too, like, but I don't know, and I can't use this platform and be like, yo, I liked it, when I didn't. You know what I'm saying? But now Family Matters, that was his best one where I was like, okay, nigga, you could drop this shit off in the club and motherfuckers is just like, okay, cool. And then just for Drake's brilliance as a whole, he has a diss track that people rock to and forget sometimes that it's a diss track. Back to back.
Yeah, back to back is the thing.
Oh man.
Back to back is the thing.
Not again. Like that.
But he talked crazy on that.
Yeah.
He had bars all over that song. Like, so again, for me, not only was it a good song, but he had bars on it. Much like They Not Like that is a club banger. A diss record is a club banger right now.
Right.
Like across the country.
They was playing that song, They Not Like Us, on TNT.
Yeah, they was.
And I said, hold up. And I rewinded it. I said, not they got a diss track where, okay, they playing this song on an outro. You know what I mean? But with so many different phases and elements that we obviously know the Drake and Kendrick, beef. Would you say that beef is dangerous, or was it competitive?
It was competitive in the end. I thought it was reckless. You got real personal about it. There were lots of people who said this is like there's two mega stars worth millions of dollars. Really, you talk about slinging mud or whatever, like talking shit about each other, throwing allegations around that are career-ending, possibly, if true. You're saying domestic abuse and pedophilia, like those things.
You can't fuck with that.
Those two things end people's careers. They'll get canceled in a minute. So, in the midst of the heat of the battle, it could have went too far in that regard, especially if you're throwing about allegations without the receipts, because you're just throwing out stuff. And then, if you are a marginal Drake fan or a marginal Kendrick fan, if you believe that to be true, you've just now given them enough reason not to listen to whichever side. You know what I'm saying? It's giving you enough impetus. Oh, I don't mess with domestic abuse, I ain't listening to him. I don't mess with people who mess with kids, I ain't messing with him. And I was like, ultimately, if the goal was to end a career, you probably could have helped do that. But I just think, again, the battles used to be about lyrical ability. I'm better than you. Who got better bars? Who can make the better song with the better bars? And of course, there's gonna be shit talking, but you start talking about people's parents.
I can't
kids.
Listen, I can't. In the South, that was a verbal spar.
Yeah.
Like I've not witnessed, but been in a city where this beef was not safe. Yeah. Gucci and Jeezy. That shit was like, hold up. Who hosting this party? Jeezy? Okay, Gucci gonna be there?
Nope.
Nah, I'm not going. Nah, I'm not going to that.
Right.
Even when they did their verses, that shit didn't even feel safe. Let alone, you know what I'm saying, the whole beef for that. So I'm looking at it like, when I was witnessing the Kendrick and Drake, first off, is it over?
It should be.
Okay, who won?
Kendrick.
Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna say
K-Dot.
Now, with that, I was saying to myself, this is a competitive beef. This was not something that I was like, hold up, somebody got to check on Drake or check on Kendrick because they about to kill somebody. Now, when you start talking about another beef, Quavo and damn Chris Brown, that's something that I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. Nah, they dropping some shit where it's like, it's on site type of theory. Right. I still think Drake and Kendrick can commingle. You know what I mean? Be at the same festival, be at the same city, and no furniture gonna be moved. That's just
no furniture.
Me specifically. But when I'm looking at Quavo, Chris Brown, I can't say that. Looking back over the years,
Is that about maturity?
I don't know if it's maturity. It's the people too.
People around the people or the individual?
Okay, Nas and Jay-Z. Do you think that was safe?
That was nasty.
That was competitive, or was that?
It was absolutely competitive, and then it got personal, just like this one. It got real personal, to the point where and most people don't remember, as we talked about J. Cole apologizing and moving out of it, Jay-Z apologized for some of the stuff he said.
But was that during the beef? Or
no, it was that kind of like as it subsided.
For sure.
Yeah, like.
Because, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I remember the final stamp of like, okay, they're not beefing no more, was like, Rock Boys in the City Tonight. Nas was in that music video. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, they cool. Another beef that I'm like, this shit is not safe, Rick Ross, 50 Cent. I would hate to be in a section or a club to witness this. Like, what would happen if that would have, you know what I'm saying?
That's unfortunate. Because again, what we doing this for?
Yeah.
What we in it for? I mean, I'm in it for the culture. I'm damn sure in it for the check. You know, to provide a future for me, my family, safety. You know what I'm saying? What? And if again you're gonna say it's about me being the best, you could do that without furniture being moved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I'll say this though. This is what makes hip hop and rap music a one-of-one type of genre. Because there's no other genre, think about it, R&B, gospel, country, jazz, whatever, where people, it's competitive verbiage or slander, potentially, right? I'm looking at, I ain't never seen Kenny Chesney fucking beefing with no Garth Brooks. Like, what the fuck that record would look like? You know what I'm saying? Or an R&B where you have a R&B situation where you have Tyrese beefing with Genuine. You know what I mean? They may have had some disagreements, but nothing about it showed like, okay, we ain't gonna talk on it or speak on it.
But that's the bravado of hip hop. That's from go. If you were an MC from the beginning of hip hop, your goal, your claim, even if you didn't believe it, I am the best MC. Period. And being an MC was, the evolution of the MC was, I want my bars to be better. I want my songs to be better. I want people, again, that,
Yeah.
if I give you the, who gave you the most in your life?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, was it Hov? Did Hov say something that go, whew?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Was it the wordplay? Was it the triple entendre? What was it? And that was a goal and aspiration of every MC from start. I'm going to be the best MC, period. Lyrically. There was only one way to do that back then. It was lyrically. It wasn't about songs. So the evolution now is that there are people who make songs, and they're some of the biggest artists on earth.
Yeah.
Some of them bars are a little shaky, but they know how to make great songs.
For sure. So sit tight real quick. We got to get into our game.
Okay.
All right. Tigger, your show Rap City is the true OG hip hop cipher. Let's see where you rank all the other ciphers in a game called Rap Copies featuring Tigger. All right. There have been many ciphers and freestyle shows excluding Rap City. Which rap shows, ciphers, do you think brought the best out of the rappers? Rank them from weakest to strongest.
Shit.
Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. The candidates are, and you can basically either say strong, weak.
Okay.
Is that cool? All right. Here we go. Hot 97 Funk Flex.
Strong.
Sway in the Morning.
Super strong.
BET Hip Hop Cipher.
Mid. Stronger in the beginning.
Oh, bullshit.
Stronger in the beginning. Some of the early ciphers were dope. Kendrick was on one of them early ciphers.
Okay.
There was a lot of, the beginning of the ciphers was competitive. That?
Man, you made an unspoken oath to keep it funky.
I'm keeping
Always
it funky. Earlier ciphers were dope.
Okay.
The later ciphers were not. By the way, never been invited to a cipher.
What?
Ever.
The BET Cipher?
Ever. Not one.
What?
Never.
Oh, you hot. I'm hot. I'm hot for you.
Never.
I mean, sweating. Heart rate going cray. Shit. Then that's whack.
Yeah.
Big whack. All right. Double XL freshman cipher.
Weak.
106 and Park Freestyle Friday.
Strong.
Power 106 Los Angeles.
Is that the Leakers?
Right?
Oh, Leakers strong.
Yeah.
The Leakers dope.
So your dream team in regards to knowing what you were part of music for how many years?
All my life, but professionally 30 years.
All my life.
All my life.
30 years.
30 years.
30 years.
30.
If you had a dream team of candidates where it's like almost like the big three, or
Cypher?
you could literally say, hey, I'm a GM and I'm about to, dead or alive,
A cipher.
that you just say, I'm picking 3 to 5 folks, male and female, that's just gonna say, hey, this shit a rap. I don't give a damn who y'all bring to this goddamn function.
Top 3 artists to be in a cipher. Jadakiss. Top 3. Jadakiss.
Man.
Yeah, this is hard. Of all time, Jadakiss. I'm gonna put KRS-One in there. So I'm from the Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, hold up, bro. Okay, Jadakiss. Who did I say second?
Is your KRS.
KRS.
So I'm gonna give you a list of names, right, that
I know my third.
You do?
Yeah,
Who?
Big Pun.
What? For real?
Yeah. If you go back and listen to Big Pun's wordplay, I'll just give you a verse, and I know this by heart. The song with him and Fat Joe, when they remade the Snoop Dogg record, he was like, dead in the middle with Little Italy, little did we know that we riddled 2 middlemen who didn't do diddly. That's just 2 bars. Like, if you have to go back and listen to what Big Pun said, the way Big Pun put words together and his flow and the way his breath control, that was, I could run off the list. I could throw DMX in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. I could throw Rakim in there. But Big Pun, KRS, because KRS is one of the best freestylers on earth, period. And, Jadakiss is Jadakiss.
Yeah.
So I stand on that.
As you should. But all of them are up north.
They are. And that partial bias is what I grew up on.
Say less.
3 Stacks is probably one of the greatest MCs ever to walk the earth, but I've never heard him like in a cipher.
Yeah.
I don't know what that sounds like.
Do you think it'd alter your ranking if, I think this is the thing too, because he just recently had a performance for Jazz Fest in Atlanta.
With the flute.
And I think, with the flute, exactly. I think a lot of people are expecting a little, just give us a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
I have it.
But even to that, his poetic wordplay and his rap stamina he impacted flows with, like you said, melodies, the charisma, as if he was like, he illustrated a picture like, oh man, like everything. And I believe it's gone.
No. He has penned some of the most iconic verses.
But gone in
there are, oh, you mean from him?
From him.
If you let Andre explain it, he'll say like he's not that motivated. Or, you know, like how do you beat? Let's just take international players anthem.
Yeah.
How do you beat that? I heard a verse the other day I had forgotten about, the show with John Legend. I'm ready to go right now. The verse is immaculate.
1, 2, 3, read like.
But it's immaculate.
Yeah.
some of his better verses
And even this,
ain't even on his songs.
I was just freestyling.
Which is what I seldom do. Listen what I'm telling you. To the bed I'm nailing you. Like I've been in bed for 2 weeks and they done let me loose. Like I've been in jail for 2 weeks and they don't let me loose. Like, he has penned some of the most immaculate verses, whether it be an Outkast song or not.
Right.
And I think, which I ain't him, he might suffer from that Dr. Dre issue. I know what I have done. Can I outdo that?
Yeah.
Can I be better than that? Is this what I'm making right here gonna step up from that? And to them, and they're maybe not. It might be like, I don't want y'all to hear that.
His standard is so high.
Standard is so high.
That I'd be damned if y'all may think
We
it's
probably
cool,
think it's the shit.
but it's not to the standard of what I know my music or my body of work.
Yeah, that's, for example, would Cam Newton go out there if you knew you weren't that athlete that you know you are? Would you go out there? And I mean, even good checking in and all, if you know you're not gonna play the way that you can play, or that you should play.
That's a great question, and I did though. knowing that I still wasn't, I was battling. I needed more time.
Gotcha.
I didn't have time to heal.
So how do you feel about it now?
Fucked up. The fact that I see myself in a New England Patriot jersey, knowing that that wasn't the best version of myself, eats me alive.
And that's what they're trying to avoid.
For sure. So I get it. Granted, from Dr. Dre never dropping the Chronic 2 to Jay-Z going into hibernation, or Kendrick going into hibernation for so long, J. Cole going into hibernation. I don't know if it's even writer's block more so than just the standard or the competitiveness that you going against yourself. You see what I'm saying? And it's something that's admirable for sure to just look at it and be like, yo, like this, they think of themselves that much. They respect the art that much that they not gonna just put out no bullshit. When you got artists that I listen to and be like, oh, bro, you could have kept that. You need to refurbish that. No, come back.
Refurbish.
You know what I'm saying? We got to do that again.
So, I think, to their credit, and we all hate it. We won't get that until either he feels comfortable with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got something.
Yeah.
I got something. Yeah, I got something. And then, or we won't.
But even too, like, I think of it like this, right? And I think of a guy like Andre 3000. We know his relationship with Erykah Badu, right? Children, whatever, for what we know that to be. You personally, right? Why haven't we seen a Miss Tigger or the Tiggettes? Okay, let's talk about it. You guys, your boys, we gotta protect it, okay, at all costs. Not only is it important that you wash, cleanse, and take care of your McNuggets, it's also important to make sure that they trim neatly, nice and neat. So, I'm here to present you a product from Manscaped. Join the 10 million men worldwide who rely on Manscaped by heading to manscaped.com and using code FUNKY for an exclusive 20% off and shipping. That's right, 20% off with free shipping. So the Manscaped lineup are as follows. 3 different products for 3 different versions of yourself. If you want to be a grand slam, go and get all 3. They got 3.0, 4.0, or for the weed whackers, they got the Ultra 5.0. And your men, boys, or whatever you want to call them, will be happy that you did it. Upgrade your ball trimmer, upgrade your life. Get 20% off and free shipping using the code FUNKY at manscaped.com. Trust Manscaped because your boys deserve the best.
You seen the ticket.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. You can learn 2 things from people. What to do and what not to do.
Okay.
Baby mama drama never looked like something I was attracted to. My father got married 3 times. I don't know where my father found the wherewithal and strength to do that, but God bless him. Rest in soul, rest in peace. I always had an idealistic view that I would marry the woman that I love, have my family unit, and to me, who started out living with my mom and then moved to live with my dad at 12, I saw the value of having a father in the home.
Right.
I saw the value of a 2-parent household when I stayed with my father and his new wife, my stepmom. And I always wanted that for my kids. I always wanted them to grow up in a stable household situation. Can't say there haven't been some Matrix moments. I can't say there haven't been an oops in my life. But at the same time, that was never the goal for me. Even for a great portion, and I do mean a great portion of my life, I wouldn't even date women with kids. Like, I just didn't want my unit to be my unit. I wanted you to be, we have our first kid together. This is our household.
You wanted the first to be the first for both of you.
Yeah. Because I grew up as a kid. My father had 2 kids from a previous marriage. He had me with my mom in his second marriage. Then he married his high school sweetheart who had a kid from a previous marriage. So we're all, a blended family.
Yeah.
But that blended sometimes ain't all that blended.
Yeah.
And I just had this idealistic view that that's what I wanted to do. And to my credit, I'd say that I kind of stuck to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, nah, I just don't want to do that. And then again, I have some good friends that have amazing co-parenting stories.
Yeah.
And I have some people that have nightmares and horror stories every step of the way. And I just couldn't imagine myself going through, like, life is hard enough without having to deal with all that. You know what I'm saying? And I want, like, I'm so, like my thought of being a dad is so, like, I'm like,
yeah, that's my little nigga.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my baby.
Like, they're gonna be like, oh, you with him again? Yeah, he's right here. Like, so you can't do that when she wanna live over there and you and the mama ain't acting right.
For sure.
It's just a lot harder. So that's always been an ideal thing that I kind of held it to. Yeah. And, I still I'm still working on finding my queen to be. Yeah. But
I'll give you my personal.
You got a lot of personal.
I do. And I think a lot of people's main question is, how do you do it? We're living in a day and age where social media is a wave, right? And you can see people's true thinking of you by just reading the comments. You know what I'm saying? I read a comment that it was like, yo, I don't appreciate you having these kids with multiple women because you're emotionally detaching them from a structured home. And I call bullshit on that. I think what people don't know about me is I come from family.
Right.
And even though at times of my life, I wasn't the most mature, nor was my significant other mature enough to say, hey, put your fucking pride away. This ain't got shit to do with you. It's about these kids, right? Once we went through this phase of, hey, understanding that we got to put these kids first, our feelings second, that's where the beauty kind of comes in at, all right? Real example, I left town for multiple days, like a week and a half, so 10 days. And the question was, why do I need to bring him or her over there if you're not going to be there? Well, I believe in family. I come from family. Right. I would have loved or wanted my version of Cam Newton at 35, my version of Cam Newton at 15 would have thought to have had a child or children, marriage, white picket fence, happily ever after. That's not what life does. Life be lifing.
Life be life.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I was like, yo, I can't hold myself contempt by not having that reality, but what I can do is make the most of my situation. I love my children. There's nothing that has sole dominion over my life outside of my religion and my children. It's God, Jesus Christ,
right,
and my children. Everything else falls how it falls, right? So with that, while I was gone it was very important for my children to still have that unity presence, because if I'm the glue,
right,
as the father, as it should be. I bring everybody together.
Right.
Right? My children that I have with this particular woman, my children that I have with this particular woman, my children that I have with this particular woman, it's my job to make sure that they all live under the same guidance when they're with me.
Right.
Now, when they go back to their moms, it's a whole different story, and I'm not even expecting.
Which is part of the other thing I didn't want to have.
For sure.
Right.
And some people can't, that's not their reality.
Right.
But I'm not expecting my baby mamas to be bestest friends. Like, oh, girl, let's go on a lunch date with the boys. That's not what my reality is.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, it is of the most importance to say, hey, even in my presence, if this is my week with the kids, even if I'm not there, I want my kids to be around each other so they know what unity is.
Right.
They know that that's my brother,
right,
that's my sister. And I had a moment where my children didn't even know that they were brothers and sisters.
Oh, wow.
But it's natural, they're granted.
Right, they're young.
At 2 or 3
Right.
years old, I asked a simple question. I said, so-and-so, who is that? That's my friend, Daddy. I said, okay, let's try this again. So-and-so, what's so-and-so? That's my friend, Daddy. I'm like, no, hold up, That's your brother.
Right.
That's your sister.
But that's the time spent under that roof.
For sure.
Yeah.
And they know that. And they don't appreciate that at 3. They don't appreciate that at 4. They don't appreciate that at 8. You really don't even appreciate that at 10. You will appreciate that when you get 18, when you get 20. When you say, I don't get to choose my friends. You know what I'm saying? Or I can choose my friends. I don't get to choose my family. Right. That's what I meant. So while my family, I don't like to hear stories where I haven't talked to my parents, or I haven't talked to my mom, or I haven't talked to my brother, or I ain't real cool with them. I don't believe in that. My mom, my grandmother, my father didn't raise me under that premise. It's like, yo, figure this shit the fuck out, or I'm gonna figure it the fuck out. My dad was the type of dad like, y'all fighting? Cool. Hold hands and walk a mile and come back and see if y'all still wanna fight. And if y'all still fighting, y'all fight me. You know what I'm saying? That was the type of masculine energy that I grew up with. So I implement that in my children. So whatever y'all got going on, we're gonna do everything with love.
But that's what I wanted to provide under that.
Yeah.
And then as far as I've had a couple public relationships. They hard. I keep it 100.
Yeah.
Relationships are challenging all by themselves. You got your own issues to deal with.
Sure.
When you add the country and other people's opinion, and the more public you make your relationship, the more people think they have something to say about it.
Yeah.
Or they can say something about it. So I've chosen in my walk to, and the women that I choose to date, hopefully we're on the same page. Like we ain't gotta share with so much.
We
ain't gotta share so much.
That's me. Like, I give people what I want them to have. You know what I'm saying? So much that, like, social media is prevalent. Like, they want to show date night. They want to show the kids growing up. They want to show, awards and graduations and all that. Like, that's cool. But when you find yourself, that's the insecurity that I think in a relationship. If you look on each other's page and that's all you see, now, that's not me. That's like, for the people who do it, that's cool. That makes y'all, that God bless you and her and him and whoever the hell. But when I really look down and I say like, yo, like, date night, y'all twinning and y'all wearing the same.
Which is cool to do.
That's cool. That's not me. That's not me. That shows insecurity. That shows.
I think if social media is your greatest point of validation, y'all got bigger issues.
Big. And that's basically what I'm saying. It's like social media can't be your only source of proving that you love that person. You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So for me, it's like, yo, baby, I don't give a damn what Kwanzaa 1, 2, 3 got the goddamn say, why you ain't showing cam, or where the kids at? Are they happy? They ain't smiling. They must be going through a lot. Like, motherfucker, I wish you would. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a safe sanctuary for me. And that's my place of refuge.
Right.
My woman, my children, my family. You don't get to talk about that. So therefore, you don't get to see that. You know what I mean? But all in all, man, I'm a big advocate of love.
Right.
And knowing that I know family is my greatest asset. And I've been open about saying, like, I want a big family.
Yeah, I just need one. I'm good with one. I need a son and I'll be good.
Do we have a source?
A source?
Like, do we have any type of candidates?
Absolutely.
So candidate, take a candidate.
No plural, candidate.
Candidate. Don't play with it, don't play with it. Touch them toes tonight, baby. Touch them.
Candidate.
Straight up. But I mean, has your work life skewed your personal life?
Absolutely. Like I said earlier, balance is admittedly my biggest challenge.
Do you separate it or do you blend it?
I've gotten way better at blending. Before it was work comes first and everything else after that is secondary. It is easy for you to do that when you don't have kids, you don't have a wife or a significant other. I was focused on being this guy that I am. I'd say, again, 30 years in radio, 27 in television. At least the first 20 was about work. I work a lot.
The hustle.
Yeah, I mean, I got that from my dad, the hustle. I've been in Atlanta 11 years. I had a checklist when I got here. I already had the radio show. I wanted to DJ for the Hawks because I was DJing for the Wizards in DC.
Okay.
That has now turned into me being the PA announcer for the Atlanta Hawks. Through that, I got called by the Falcons. I have a section at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
What? Shit, but hold up.
My section is the Dirty Birds Nest, the rowdy section. That's my section.
So that's just football, or that's
just
with
football, not with the
soccer?
United. No, yeah, shout out to the United. But that section, 134, right underneath Molly B's, with all the crazy wild people with the flag. That's my section. I am the orchestrator of that section.
The turn-up king.
Please believe it. And that's again the hustle. I look forward to that.
Of course you should.
I love to. And it only happened once, but I had a football game on an early Sunday and a basketball game on a late Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah, I did a whole post about it because I said, who has done a stadium
and an
arena
same day
in the same
at the same damn time?
I'm like, I touched 100,000 people today. And it was all on me to bring the energy in both buildings.
That's dope as shit. And even while you're talking about these accomplishments, I think something while reading was dope. You know, you're hosting Essence Fest in 2024.
Yeah, I'm hosting the stage Sunday with Keke Palmer.
High energy.
I mean, it's their 30th anniversary. I've been in radio 30 years. It's Symmetry.
It's only right.
That's a good look, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
So if you're on your way down to Essence, come out at your boy.
It's in New Orleans?
Nah.
You know, a couple of beignets, you know what I mean? Po' boys. Damn sure ain't po', don't get it twisted. But yeah.
So I'm excited about that. I've never been invited. I've been invited to be at the festival, do different things, host different parties, but never to host the stage. So I'm excited about it and I'm gonna show out.
Yeah. So I see this. It says currently in the Black Radio Hall of Fame, but you're nominated for the Radio Hall of Fame.
So there's the National Black Radio Hall of Fame, which is a national Hall of Fame for Black radio people.
Okay.
I made that last year, 2023.
Congrats.
Thank you. I am now nominated for the Radio Hall of Fame, which is non-exclusive. It's radio in its entirety. And some of my, people I grew up to and people I respect are already in there, like Donnie Simpson, and people of that ilk. So, it would be a cool accomplishment for me to make that, and it would at least make me feel good about them 20 years where I put everything behind work.
Suffer.
You know what I'm saying? Just the dedication.
Or not suffer, it's the sacrifice.
Right, the sacrifice and the dedication. If I don't make it, I ain't gonna cry about it, but I would like to make it. I think it's a small point of validation just on a longevity and career thing. Like, okay.
No, you're gonna get that. And I think, look, people don't pay to see modesty, even though they say be humble. People don't pay to see humility, but they say act like you've been there before. When you think about things that we utmost want, I think I've learned to understand, like, no, I want to be there.
Yeah,
because it's important, and you're gonna get that.
Okay, I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta speak it life.
Let's get there then. Hall of Fame thing.
And BET, stop playing with my mans in regards to the cipher, bro. Like, what are we really
I mean...
Last question for me. I wanted to go back to something real quick.
Okay.
Do you think now, knowing what you know now, that it was smart that J. Cole gracefully bowed out?
Absolutely. I don't think J. Cole is a super talented lyricist. This got so personal. Again, it's the personal of it. Like, why invite yourself to that? Yeah. And he said what he said on his record and took it down. Like, I'm bad. I'm out of this.
He threw that back. Oh, damn, I didn't even do it. Damn.
Don't shoot.
Yeah. I'm going white flag.
Don't shoot.
But he knew where it could go.
I honestly believe that he did it for mostly the reason that he said he did it. It just didn't sit well with him because that wasn't his energy. But at the same time, like the hip hop in me was like, nah, you can't.
Hell no, nigga.
Nah, son.
What are you doing?
Nah, what you doing?
Shut. No, he didn't mean that. No. Fuck you mean?
I believe he bowed out mostly because of how he felt, but also potentially because he saw where it could go. Yeah. Like the times are different. The game is different. It ain't just bars. They really out here pulling people. Like they're paying people to bring them dirt.
Yeah.
About you, and everybody got dirt.
But look, going back to the whole essence of, hey, is this about competition or is this about violence? We've seen in this genre of music, it cannot be safe. Starting off with, when I think about unsafe beefs, NBA YoungBoy, Lil Durk. Right? People lost lives. Mm-hmm. Tupac, Biggie.
That was coastal.
People lost lives.
Right.
When you think about certain things, it's like, okay, where do we draw the line and say, okay, hold up, we're not doing that. I feel that really, like I said, I'll say it again, with Quavo and Chris Brown, that shit don't feel safe to me.
So, most times, the violence of it all happens in the surrounding. It's not the two individuals.
But you can't, though.
That's my point.
It's entourage.
That's my point. Mm-hmm. These people feel away because you are who they ride for. Lots of times you're the meal ticket. Mm-hmm. You're how their life, the centers around you. And they can't have that. We can't have that. Mm-hmm. So when the violence does happen, it's usually not the two individuals who could just be lyrically sparring or, whatever, trading.
Competitive,
right. But these people who they surround themselves with don't have as much to lose. Well, they think they have a lot more to lose because this is how my life is focused on. If you're great, your greatness trickles down.
But this is how, or the entourage feels as if,
because this is how I will.
This how I prove. This how I prove I fuck with you. Mm. You know what I'm saying? By that. So we've seen that, or allegedly going off of the Lil Wayne and even Thug. You dig what I'm saying? Like somebody could have lost a life. When we look at, just the whole situation with Diddy, and I don't know if it was it BMF? Lost a security guard. You know what I'm saying? Like these different things is like, bro, it's never the source. It's never two people who initiated it come to blows and say, this is really what the fuck is happening.
It's the fringe.
It's the surrounding entities.
But unfortunately, we live in times where sometimes those fringe people are needed. They just are. Part of that entourage is that way because they're part of the security.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like a bodyguard. They're part of how you get to move the way that you want to move. But again, if it's really about records, they had this thing back in the day called Keep It On Wax, which is us just keeping on records. Right. We talk shit about each other all day. And then it wouldn't be the people who are actually going at each other, it's everybody else around her.
Yeah.
Even back to the NWA Ice Cube thing when it was, you know, they got in a fight in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't the actual people. Well, Ice Cube was in the fight, but it started with other people around NWA coming at Ice Cube, and, you know what I'm saying? And then they got in the fight. So it's just one of those unfortunate things that hip hop, while for all the benefit, blessings, expansiveness, and fruitfulness that hip hop has provided lots and lots of people, sometimes it takes away.
That's the dark side of hip hop.
Yeah, it is.
For it to be the #1 grossing source of music, period. The dark side of that is it's so competitive that it's unhealthy. I remember a time, it was like around 2008, 2009, like hip hop dead, right? But nowadays, it's like, yo, this is the leading source for music on the titles and the Spotify's, on the Apple Music, because it has so much weight to it. I challenge us all to really kind of monitor, and I'm not speaking to no specific individual or group of people. It's like, yo, bro, like, let's keep it on wax. You know what I'm saying? And not have another fatherless son or fatherless daughter, because there's no other genre that you have to fear for your life.
Right.
Definitely not gospel, not jazz, not flutes, not damn country, not contemporary pop, not none of that shit. So that's where I feel like my PSA would be like, we just got to do better.
We do.
When it comes to your feet, eBay got your back. With eBay's authenticity guarantee, real experts are checking your sneakers. Every stitch down to the sole. A timeless yet hard to find sneaker that will never go out of style. For me, first off, wearing a size 14 shoe is not idealistic when shoe shopping. So I feel like when I go shoe shopping, finding a shoe that's my size is that shoe. Whatever you're adding to the lineup next, head to eBay. From the drop to your doorstep. eBay does not play no games with your sneaker game. Just look for that blue check mark. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms. Talk to me about your foundation, bro.
Big Tigger Foundation. Tomorrow, we're giving away 200 bikes to kids on the West Side Park in Atlanta. This is our second year giving it back to the kids. It's the largest green space in Atlanta. During the pandemic, you couldn't really do stuff and move around. One of the things you could actually do, go outside and ride a bike without a mask and nobody bother you. So I rediscovered cycling in the pandemic. I would go out to Silver Common Trail here in Atlanta, just go out, ride, because it was outside. It was just something I was tired of wearing this damn mask.
Yeah.
You couldn't be around people, nothing was really open. So then I had the idea then also riding on the Atlanta Beltline. As we came out of the pandemic, I ran into Clyde Higgs, who is the CEO of the Beltline, and he's black. One of the most beautiful things about Atlanta is no matter what industry, what institution, or what big thing there is either a black person at the bottom of it or somebody right next to them.
Correct.
And I was just amazed to hear that this black man was in charge of the Beltline. So me and him I told him, hey man, I want to give kids bikes because I want kids, go outside, be healthy, rediscover cycling, Because when we was small, the best thing, you get a bike?
Bro, shit.
You get a bike?
What?
And they wasn't free with a bike.
Adjustable, like a 10-speed, like you get the...
A BMX bike?
With the pegs?
So I wanted kids to have that feeling, and lots of times that's not, on the list of things to do.
Yeah.
So last year we gave away 100 bikes. This year, Saturday, June 1st, we gave away 200 bikes to kids and helmets, and we do it annually. Next year, we're scheduled to be in Piedmont Park.
Okay.
Yeah, I was excited. Piedmont Park reached out to us.
Wow.
It was like, we want this bike giveaway in Piedmont Park. So the one thing that was on my list of things to do as we elevated the giveaway, my next target is to partner with a bike company. So right now we're purchasing the bikes at a discount from either Walmart or Target or something like that. But I want to partner with a bike company. I ain't gonna say no names because I don't want nobody to be mad.
Correct.
But I would love for a bike company to come in and be the official bike of Atlanta.
Wow.
Because we just gonna give away that many bikes to kids, and there's no other bike that you see in these ATL streets.
For sure.
So that's one of the goals that we want to do as we move to 2025.
But we know Atlanta is what Atlanta is. You need an official bike of Atlanta, and you also need an official locksmith. Because
Put that thing in the house.
Because bikes can end up with some legs and get missing.
And next year, Cam coming to ride a bike.
Oh, for sure, for shit show. like definitely. I'm all for, impacting the community in a positive way. Right before we get out of here, bro, I saw or read something that you are a scuba diver.
Oh, yes, sir.
What the fuck? What is that?
Since 2018? 2016.
What?
16? 16.
Where do you, where, how, what just was like, oh shit, I'm about to.
So I went on a cruise, and we popped off at one of the islands, and they had beginner scuba. And I liked snorkeling before, look down,
Right.
little snorkel. And it was like, scuba diving, you get to go down with the fish. And I was like, all right, let's try it. So I did it, and I was like, hey, this is kind of cool. So then I came back, and I went somewhere else, and I was like, let me try it one more time to see if I really like it, or was I tripping?
So how far?
Now or then?
Now.
120, no, the deepest I've been is 141 feet.
Mm.
And that was inside the Blue Hole in Belize. 141 feet.
Now you're with people.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm rated as an advanced open water diver to anywhere between 120 and 140. I really shouldn't be going past 120, but we went to 140. But I'll have there's usually a dive master or somebody with us who knows more than I do that's with us in case something happens. But so I love scuba diving.
You know, an interesting fact too, I'm not sure, I'm not expecting people to understand this. You know who else?
I know a lot of, you know about us? Lil Duval.
I didn't know that, but
Sap.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods scuba dive?
Tiger Woods.
Okay.
When I was looking at his documentary.
Really?
Woods.
Okay.
He said scuba diving was the only place where he felt like serene or alienated.
No phones?
No nothing.
Talk to nobody?
And his friends was like, yo, why the hell you keep scuba diving? It was like, bro, shit, these fish don't know me down here. And it made sense. It was like, damn. So when I seen that you scuba dive, I was like, what the, Tigger and Tiger, what the hell they got there?
Hey, Tiger, holla at your boy.
Yeah.
I have a plan. Me, Duval, Sap, Will Smith. Go scuba diving, we shoot it. I want that to happen.
That's dope, bro. And that's something, we all like to be put on stuff, adventures and experiences. That right there is something where that's the untold, or they haven't quite figured underwater out yet.
Well, black people in water.
Yeah.
Black people in water a little shaky.
Yeah,
swimming,
sure.
getting in water, the hair.
What the equipment looked like, but.
So this past December, I eclipsed 100 dives. And I said, since I made 100, I'm gonna move, my next level up is master diver.
Which is?
Just a level up. It's like,
or in this case, level down. That you can.
So it's open water, advanced open water, and then you kind of have a fork in the road. Do you want to start teaching, or do you want to be a master diver? I don't think I want to teach. I just want to be a master diver.
So you can go as low as where?
I mean, if with tech diving, you can go down to 200 feet.
And that's dark.
Yeah, every 5-6 feet, you're losing light. And it all depends on how clear the water is. So if the water's murky, it'll get dark quicker. If the water's crystal clear, like if you go to Exuma or Fiji or one of those places where I did my testing in Exuma when I did advanced open water, and 120 feet, I'm looking at you like this. I mean, that is the most beautiful, that water's beautiful. And then I've been in water where you get to 30 feet and it's like looking through like a stained glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the deeper you go, the less light, things get dark, it's just getting dark.
So with these scuba voyages, I only can imagine what creatures you've probably ran into.
Sharks, of course.
It's not no sharks, of course. Like,
Well, so there's different kinds of sharks. There are cool sharks and not so cool sharks. I usually try not to find myself in waters with the not so cool sharks. Like bull sharks, great whites, I'm not getting in. If they're great whites, I'm not getting in the water.
in the surrounding areas.
Great whites are the thugs of the ocean. I'm not getting, great whites are crazy. But you have to, part of your education in diving is learning what sharks, being able to identify a shark, and then knowing what their behaviors are like. If they just swim like this, they don't care. They'll come up to you. Even tiger sharks, which can be aggressive, or hammerheads, they can come up to you, and all you're supposed to do is redirect them. Like those videos where people tell you to just move them. If they just swimming like this at you, yes, you can move them. If they coming at you fast and darting around, you're starting to get the hell out of there. But different sharks act differently, and behaviors matter, and you really need to pay attention. Like, okay, shorty tripping, let me get the hell out of here.
But you on their playground.
Without question.
So if they see you, it's already too late.
Well, when you see them is the question.
It's like, so if I'm being faced with a shark, boom, that's the shark.
Right. It depends on
You
what
trying to
you're doing.
do, what you gonna redirect that motherfucker like, oh no.
If he's just swimming like this, he not aggressively coming, like he not, if he's just swimming like, dude, he's just being nosy. Because sharks do not necessarily want to eat people. They eat people, like, let me tell you, bruh. So when you ever hear people, like I was scuba diving, or I was snorkeling at dusk, and that, like something happened, mostly sharks eat at dusk or like evening time. And B, if you're splashing around at the top of the water, they think you're injured. They don't know what you are. They just know you easy to eat because you're injured. They just want to eat easy. They don't want to chase people too hard.
They ain't trying to do no work.
They just want to eat easy. So if you just splashing around, they think you're injured or whatever you are. There goes some food. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds crazy. I thought the same thing before I got down there and started doing it. But you learn the behaviors of sharks. I've seen octopus. I've seen the big giant manta rays. I've seen dolphins. Yeah, but great whites are a little bit of, I don't want to do the great whites.
You've ever seen a creature bigger than you?
Manta rays. Manta rays are about 30 feet wide.
That's where I'm like, ah.
Yeah, but they just want to swim over you. They don't want nothing. They eat plankton. It looks, bro, I'll show you the video. It looks crazy. It's this wide. I've been in the Georgia Aquarium. You can go scuba diving in the Georgia Aquarium.
Yeah, but that's a safe environment. Like you there, they know, like, it's almost like a circus animal. Don't let people hear this. It's like, as a circus animal, you're around people a lot.
Chill.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, your mannerisms aren't as aggressive, or they may be aggressive, but when they come on the show, like, they're whatever.
They got a shark exhibit in there. They don't let you in there with the sharks because them tiger sharks and the hammerheads, again, very aggressive.
Okay, this is my rule about animals, all right? It's not that I don't like animals. I love animals. Hell, I'm an animal, right? But it stops with me if I can't that animal to sit, I don't fuck with it. So think about it. If you talking about you got a pet snake, can you teach it to sit? Nope, that ain't no animal for me. Shit, you got a pet spider. Can it sit? No, it can't sit. Shit, you got a motherfucking monkey, probably you can teach it to sit. Okay, cool, that may be, you know what I'm saying, cool.
Well, I ain't trying to keep a shark.
Yeah, but you around it. Yeah, no. It's one of them situations.
But it's beautiful, like Tiger was saying, it's beautiful, it's relaxing.
Yeah.
It's some of the stuff you would never have seen. And if you haven't been scuba diving and you've been all over the world, you still only seen 50% of the earth.
That's cool. You know what's just as good as for me?
What?
You know, when you got Apple TV and they go on that screensaver, and I just be like, damn, that shit pretty cool. Like, that's all I'm good for. Yeah. Or when you show me these videos, or when you show me the videos, you're like, yeah, okay, that's enough. I don't want to go down there.
I want to make the video.
Hell nah, hell.
I want to make them. It's literally fun to the point where I was like, at some point when I retire, I want to move to an island and teach scuba diving at some point, way later. But
we're like, hold on. This Big Tigger nigga, this nigga is a scuba instructor.
Shout out to my Scuba Squad Nation, you hear me?
Straight up. Man, listen, bro. Appreciate you. Hey, listen, as we end things here at Funky Friday, you dig what I'm saying? We're going to go in unison. We're going to start with this camera, then we're going to go to this camera, and then we're going to finish with that camera right there.
All right.
All right? When I say all together, we're going to say one love.
Okay.
Make sense to you?
Yep.
Here we go. One finger. You got to redirect that hand.
Oh, wait. Go ahead.
So we're going to start with this camera.
Right.
Then we're going to go to this camera with another instruction, and then we're going to finish with that instruction.
But I got to point every time?
It's another instruction.
Okay. So the first one is one finger.
Yes.
Okay, come on.
Then you're going to have another instruction right here.
Got you.
Still keeping, you know what I'm saying?
Got you, all right.
Makes sense. You acting like a rapper now.
I just
All right.
understand.
Here we go. One finger, one pinky, one thumb, all together, one love. Get it! Yeah. Appreciate you, bro.